Kimber with Kimber Co. I just wanted to pop in. I did another video on how to make cupcake toppers using the Silhouette Studio Designer Edition. So I wanted to show you how to do it if you do not have the Designer Edition. I will say that it is significantly easier with the Designer Edition, but it's definitely not impossible just when you have the regular one. So what we're going to make looks like this when you're finished, and these are just these cute little cupcake toppers that cut out these like round medallions, and you just stick them on a toothpick and stick them in a cupcake, and you can make them. I did Halloween, but you could put any type of like theme or character for a birthday party or any type of holiday on there. I use these designs right here from the Hungry JPEG bundle. I love buying the bundles not only because of the awesome fonts that I can use with Silhouette Studio, but also because the graphics make terrific, basically a terrific resource to create cupcake toppers, bunting banners, labels, stickers, all sorts of things that I do with the graphics, and basically they're pennies a design when you buy them in a bundle. So the monthly bundles give us great seasonal stuff, which is where I picked up all this Halloween stuff. So on my blog post, I have a free a cupcake topper template, and when you open it, it'll look like this. So that's where we're going to start. When you open it, all of these are by default grouped together. So what I'm going to do is we're going to need them ungrouped. So I'm just going to highlight all of them right here, and then right click and ungroup like that, and now they're all ungrouped. Now what we're going to do first is we are going to, oops, did not mean to do that. We are going to add these backgrounds on each of our cupcake toppers. Now when I do that in the Designer Edition, let me show you first why it's so much easier. I can just go to Fill Pattern, which is one of the features, pick the paper I want, so say it's these dots, or actually I select it and then I pick the paper I want, and it just fills it in. So it's super, super easy. Now let me show you how you do it when you do not have the Designer Edition. When you don't have the Designer Edition, you're basically going to need to fill in each of these circles individually. So what I'm going to do is go to File, Merge. I use Merge instead of Open when I want the graphic I'm opening to open on the same page. And then I pick whatever paper I want, and it opens. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this smaller because I want that pattern to be a little bit smaller on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this all the way to the back so I can see that circle. And now I'm going to select not only the paper, but I'm going to hold down the Shift key and also select, see if I can get it to work, the paper, and I want that outer circle. So I have both of those selected. Now how I can see that is, I'm going to zoom in and show you this really quick, is you'll see that not only does it have the bounding box around the paper, but you can also see that very light bounding box around the circle as well. So I know they're both selected. Then what I'm going to do is go to my Modify window. That is this rectangle with the M on it right here. You can see when I click on it, it says Modify, and what I want to do is I want to crop. And using the crop tool basically gets rid of anything that is not overlapping on those two shapes. So when I hit that, you can see that that goes in to that circle perfectly. So now I can do that again for each circle. So again, merge. Oops. Let's see. And then let's pick another paper. This one. Zoom back out so I can make this smaller. And as you can see, it's not hard by any means to do this in the regular Silhouette Edition. If you don't have Designer, it's just a lot more time consuming because you're having to open each of these papers individually rather than just having them already loaded right there in your patterns. So again, I right click, send to back. Then I'm going to select the paper. Here I'll zoom in so we can see this really nicely. Then I'm going to hold Shift, so I'm going to select multiple things. I'm going to click right on that line. It's kind of hard to see on that black background. And then I'm going to hit Crop, and it goes right into that circle. I'll show you one more time so we make sure we have this down. Merge. And then go to my papers, pick this one. I'm going to make the paper smaller so it looks nice on the background. Right click, send to back, select the circle along with that, and then crop it together. So now you understand how to create the look on that back circle. The next thing you're going to do is add the text or graphic. If I want graphics, I also got all of the graphics from the October bundle. It had a whole Halloween pack of graphics and papers in there, which is great for any of your just party decor or anything you want to make on a print and cut type project. And I just now again merge, and then I'm going to go to Halloween pack, which is where it's saved, and you can see all the graphics. These aren't all of them, but these are a few of the graphics that came with it. If I want to pick these, say shoes, I do that. I then drag them over here and size them to go right where I want them in my cupcake topper. Okay, and then I can do the same thing again, file, merge, and then say we want a cat. So I'm going to use the cat, make him smaller, this, put him right in there, and then just move them. If you want it to be perfect, you can also select your whole thing. You can use your align tool right here, and then I do align center, align middle, and that gets them perfectly in the middle of your circle. And then the last thing I'll show you is the type. If you notice here, I had a couple of different things. I have 31, I have trick or treat, I have boo. And the 31 and the trick or treat are both done using my smoking typeface. So let's do one of those first. And all I do for this is just get my text tool. I'm going to click here. I'm going to do 31. Oops, it's all still in the pattern. And then I'm going to do smoking typeface over here. Smoking typeface. And then I'm going to move this right to the middle. I could use that align tool if I want. I don't know why it filled with that pattern, but let's just fill it in black so we can see that nicely. Okay, there's 31, and then I used this Trickster display right here font for the boo, and I'm going to show you how I did that. It's just a little bit of a trick to it. So I did BOO with an exclamation point, and then I think, let's see, the Trickster font, we're going to change that. Okay, and then what I want to do is I'm going to select that, I'm going to right click, I'm going to weld. Once I weld it, it breaks all of those up into separate letters. So I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to group it back together. I'm going to fill it. I think I wanted this bright green color with green, and then I'm going to rotate it using this little handle up here. Then I'm going to drag it down here. Put it right here. You can adjust the size a little bit more if you need to. And that's all you do. Now, there is one other very important trick to this. When you open my file, my cupcake topper template file, it's going to be set so only the outside circle is set to cut. Now, when you add text onto that, that text by default is also set to cut. So we need to come over here to our cut settings screen, and we'll notice that everything that's in that dark red is set to cut. So my images by default are just images. They're not traces or anything. So those are not set to cut. It's just the outside of the circle. But the text on both of these two is set to cut. And to undo that is really simple. You're just going to click on the text. You'll notice it's set to cut, and we know that because there's a thick red line. I'm just going to set it to no cut. I can do the same thing over here. Click on my text. Come over here to no cut. And then you're all set. So all you have to do is go up to File, you print it on your printer, it will print out the registration marks, we put it on our cutting mat, you put it into your silhouette, load it up, and then send it to your silhouette to cut, and it'll cut out perfectly around these cupcake toppers. and then you can just set them right up on top of your cupcakes. If you have any questions, you can feel free to leave them on the post, or if you're joining us on YouTube, you can either leave them here on YouTube or go to the post. The link is in the comments, and check out the more detailed tutorial. But I hope you guys have a lot of fun and just really enjoy creating all of your own cupcake toppers. Thanks, guys.